So it's important to be kind to people who have mental illnesses and to think about ways that we can be kind in our day-to-day activities with them. And they tell me that often it's the smallest things that can make the biggest difference. For example, someone returning to work after an illness, being greeted warmly, being invited for coffee, making sure that they aren't excluded from social events, and normalizing the whole process. So think about things you can do in your day-to-day life that will make people who have mental illnesses feel happy and supported, and that they fit in and are socially included. We don't know a lot about mental illnesses as members of the general public, and we do seem to harbor a lot of misconceptions and stereotypes. People are violent, they're unpredictable, they can't interact socially. So it's important that we think of ways to educate ourselves so that we can learn what people can and cannot do. And mostly what you'll learn is that people can do a lot more than you thought they could. Language matters to people who have mental illnesses. The words that we use to describe mental illness and mental health are important. They can hurt or they can help. So it's important in our day-to-day lives that we think carefully about the words that we use. Things like a schizophrenic ball game or a crazy day. Do we really need to say those things in those ways? So if we could think of better ways, more appropriate ways to think about and talk about mental illnesses, it would go a long way. The best thing you can do if someone tells you that they're suffering from emotional problems or have mental illness is to listen empathetically and ask them to tell their stories. Don't interject, don't interrupt, don't say you're having a bad day, you have nothing to be depressed about. Just listen quietly and let them tell their story and be supportive throughout. Mental illnesses have been in the shadows for far too long, and we're afraid to talk about them, and we're afraid to disclose to our closest friends if we're seeking help or having problems. And I think the important thing for us to think about as Bell Let's Talk Day comes up is that we need to be talking about mental illnesses to each other so that we normalize this, we learn about them, and we know how to support those who have them.